um, speaking of Elijah, you just mentioned Elijah a couple of minutes ago. So how happy and excited are you to see Elijah on these, the level that he's on right now?
It's my 7th year as a pro.
7th year, and I go back I remember at, what was that, the 23rd Street Fight Station?
Oh yeah, Fight Factory.
Fight Factory?
Yeah.
Fight Factory. I'm going back to them days.
Ooh,
You was what? You probably
like
15,
about
16?
15.
Right? We're going on what, 10, 15 years here, man. And Coach, I appreciate you for...
Because from what you said, he started boxing at the age of 8. And now...
Well, 6, actually.
6.
Yeah, 6. Mm-hmm.
The last interview was maybe during his birthday, 27.
Mm-hmm.
So how happy, to see him on this, at this level?
Well, of course, I'm very happy. The fruits of my labor, I've put a lot of time and energy, money, resources in him, and to see that it's matured into what it's supposed to, I'm very happy and flattered behind it. It's been a long time. It's been a grueling journey. There's been some sacrifices made on his behalf and mine as well, even his mother's, So I'm very happy that things have lined out the way they have. It's been a tough road though, but that's what makes it all worth it, to go through the things that you need to go through. And stay strong, stay focused, and not give up, and eventually get the benefits of what you labor for. Because that's labor intense, and that's what it was. It was a labor intense thing, and the test of time was involved, and some people give up before they get to the end, and we didn't give up, and now once again we're reaping the fruits of our labor, and I'm happy for that.
So come March 29, this month, next month, my bad, Elijah is getting back in the ring.
Right.
How ready are you as a coach?
Well, I'm always ready as a coach. I'm a coach. When I train my fighter, I know that I'm equipping them with the things that are necessary to do what they're supposed to do, which is box in all aspects, offensive, defensive, counterfighting, whatever it comes to boxing, I'm preparing them for that. So I'm always eager to see them perform, to witness my coaching ability come into fruition, and to experience the knowledge that I've given them to be exposed to the world. It's a beautiful thing to watch a fighter. You teach them something and they do it, and it works.
I know.
And then you're like, oh man, I showed him that. Wow, boy, look at him do that, boy.
I know.
I told him, and it's a great feeling just to see someone do what you taught them to do, and it works.
It works, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's not even. It's even better when it's your son. When it's your blood. And oh man,
that's like the ultimate legacy.
Yeah,
that's
that's ultimate. And watching him create a legacy a history. That's what history is. His story.
Sorry.
This is his story. And he's creating his story, which is history of his life. And to know that I played a part in it from the beginning. Because I'm the one that decided to put him into boxing because I was a fighter. And I decided.
Did you turn pro?
Yes.
You turned pro?
Yes.
Oh.
And I decided, hey, I want to give my son something that came from his father. Most men do. They like to pass down something that comes from me. So
they call
I couldn't.
Generational wealth.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I couldn't finish. I couldn't fish.
Yeah, but you still pass on the torch.
Yeah, and I couldn't hunt. I said, well, what can I do manly to give to my son? But I did know how to box. I said, well, I'm going to teach him how to box. And the relationship that we had, he was very close to me. He admired me a lot, and I really appreciate that because he did. He felt really high on his dad. My dad is tough. My dad can do this. So he felt, and he wanted to be like me. He was really into Wesley Snipes, which was Blade.
Blade. Yeah.
Yeah. So he used to watch Blade all the time on TV, and he like, man, my daddy look like Blade, because that's when I had my hair. I had my hair, and
now you still look like him.
Yeah, I looked a lot like him at that time.
Even with the earring, that's the kind of earring he wears. Yeah. When I came in this evening, I wanted to say, like, when I saw the earring, the round, I was like, Coach, I was about to say, don't you know, do people tell you look like Wesley Snipes?
Yeah, I used to tell me all the time, you look like Wesley, because I kind of had a little fly look and kind of had a little box cut and everything. So I look a lot like him. And so...
it's been 21 years, man.
Yeah, he took into that. And I was like a superhero to him. Wow. And so he wanted to mimic me. So I wanted to make sure that I gave him positive reinforcement, a positive image to replicate, and that's what I done. You know, so I started teaching him, and he drawed to it as well because he wanted to be like me. He wanted to be able to fight like I did because my daddy could fight. My daddy he used to box and he was a kickboxer, and so he wanted to do those things. So he bought into it, and he got really good. Wow. And so my goal, and what my goal is for all of my kids, is to be better than me. My goal is for every child that I have, my goal is for them to be better than me in whatever they do. Take it to the next level. Wow. You know, that's, I don't want nobody else to be. But my kids.
Your kids.
Another man, he better than me, I'm having some issues with it. But my sons, I want them to be better than me. And so that's what he done. He's taken to that next level, and that's where he's at. And I'm happy for him.
Wow. Yeah. Still speaking of Elijah, because I remember the last interview that I did with you and him, right? You made mention of 7 being the year of perfection, because he turned 27 last year. And you said you was born April 7th,
yes.
Yeah. So you said a lot of stuff during the last interview, carrying to this year, and pretty much I felt like some of those things are kind of like coming to fusion now.
Yeah.
So what can you explain, elaborate a little better about 7 being a perfect year for him? He's 27 now, and he said this year is the year that he wants to take it to the next level. Like, so can you speak on that?
Well, the number 7, from what I've told, has been the number of completion. And So that would, to me, would mean that he's complete in his thinking, in his ability. There's no more that he needs to really learn. Not that he can't learn anymore, but he's complete enough to acquire what he needs to acquire. To get to where he needs to be. He's complete in his training. He's complete in his knowledge to get to the level that he needs to get to. And that's what I feel. Like I said, I was born April the 7th, and he's 27. And so I'm just like, you know, we both are kind of lining up together as being complete, you know. And that's just some things that I just kind of put into my mind. And I think it's a good time for him to reach the level that he's level. And he's already said in his mind that 2024 is going to be my year. And it just happens to be the year that he's 27 years old. So it all is kind of matching up and lining up. And I really think that it is going to be his year.
Wow.
As odd or as weird as that may sound, I think it's all lining up to be exactly what it is.
Wow. I'm going to move a little bit away from Elijah. So, talking about boxing style. Okay, what type of style? Do you like the 80s, the 90s? Because 80s was Muhammad Ali time, right? 90s was probably like a Mike Tyson's, right?
Yeah.
Then 2000, Floyd Mayweather. Which of those and probably 2020 something Canelo, which of those year do you like, oh man, this is the number one for me?
Well,
let me say era.
I would say the era that's probably the most profound to me would probably be when Muhammad Ali was there, because boxing, to me, it seemed a little more pure. It was more about being the best. There was not any computer, Facebook, false narratives that could be put out there. It was all about valor and pride and honor and the best fighting the best. I'm gonna go down, I'm ready to die to be the best. I'm not ducking nobody. I'm not running from nobody. It's not a popular contest. It's a boxing contest. I'm not to be the favorite because I got the most popular people on my social media. I'm the best because I can fight the best. And that's what it was about back then. And they would risk it all and get in the ring to fight the best, to be considered the best. And that's not really what it is now. I'm all about having the best record, even though I ain't fought the best.
That's what Elijah called it, Floyd effect.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of what it is. It's,
Floyd effect.
And I don't know what he
even
was
amateur fighter,
that was
coach.
What Floyd was trying to do, but that's what he created. He created I'm gonna be undefeated.
Undefeated.
Even if I have to fight lesser opponents, I won't fight this guy right now. I'll wait until
he's older,
3 or 4 years older, and then I'll fight him as he's deteriorated or he's broken down or he's not as good. Then I'll fight him because I'm still young, and then I can beat him. That may have been the issue. It may not. That's what some people say, that he waited too fight certain people or whatever until they weren't at their prime.
Yeah.
And so, not really sure, but that's where I feel like during the time when Muhammad Ali was fighting, they were fighting at their prime. They were fighting their best, the best at the best, and they wanted to fight at the best at that time.
Because I remember one time, Mike Tyson said he did like, I think he said he did a 20-something fight in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how do you do that? He said probably was doing like a 3-4 fight every month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Coach, I got a question before we, I've been talking boxing with you for quite a while, but you haven't given me your top 5 boxer of all time. You can put Elijah in there if you want to.
Well, I love my son, but I wouldn't say he's the best boxer of all time because he hasn't proven. Of course, I'm gonna always think that Muhammad Ali was the best because he was bigger than boxing. One of the things I liked about him that he was a philanthropist. He focused a lot on equal rights. So it wasn't just about boxing to him. He stood for some other things. And that's what I really appreciated about him. I really like George Foreman as well because of his mannerisms and his spiritual connection with God and stuff. There were a lot of really good, strong fighters out there. When you try to say who was better than this person and that person.
No, the one that you like, that's what I mean. The one that you like, okay, I like his style of fighting.
Really hard to say because I like different fighters at different times in different eras.
So you don't have a favorite?
Muhammad Ali would probably be my favorite. He would be my favorite because of what like I said, what he stood for. During the times in the 60s and the 70s, it was he wasn't just boxing. He was about equal rights. He fought for something that was bigger, and his character as a person. He never cursed. He talked a lot of noise. He was very funny. You could see all different kinds of things in him. He wasn't a one-dimensional person. He had so many different elements about him. He was very intelligent. He was effective, I guess I would say.
Communicator?
In the government issues.
Issues, yeah.
Humanistic. Passionate.
Passionate, okay.
There were just so many elements, and you could see so many different elements. It wasn't just about boxing. So I've seen so many interviews where he would talk about so many different things, and of course, he was a Muslim, and so
speaks for the people.
He spoke for the people in so many occasions. I liked Sugar Ray Leonard. More because of his flash, his speed, his quickness. There wasn't a really big element about him for anything else, but it was mostly just boxing. Most of fighters were just based on just boxing. That's why I give Muhammad Ali such the elevation, because he was bigger than boxing. Even now today, Pacquiao was bigger than boxing.
Yeah.
You know, I think
it's in
I
the
think
government in
he's
his
the
country,
government
like a
in
senator
his
or
country.
something.
Yeah. And so, you know, he wasn't just limited to that small place. And that's where I would like my son to be. You know, I want him to put himself in a position where he's bigger than boxing.
To affect people.
You know? And that's where I think you can be the most influential to people is when you don't just stay in that role, you know, because that role can limit you. But if you can go outside that role or whatever and use your influence to, you know,
to help people.
To help people and strengthen their minds and help them to see other things that they wouldn't normally see. I think that's what a gift is supposed to be for. When you have these gifts, how do you use a gift of fighting?
To help people. To beat them up.
To help people.
By beating them up.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it got to be bigger than that, you know, because at some point it has to. So most of the people that can fight really good, they're influential because you don't want to have to deal with them in that capacity. So you'll be more apt to listen to what they have to say. As long as they're saying something good, you know, they'll be your team.
Before we wrap up today's, you know, interview with you, Coach, you know, what would be your advice for the, you know, upcoming boxers? You know, there's one knowledge you would like to pass down to, you know, any upcoming boxers. What would that be?
When you come into this world, there's no information in your brain as a child, as an infant. As you see, as you hear, as you smell, as you taste, you start to pick up information. And all of it is a bunch of information. As time goes, you start to reason the information. First, it's just a lot of information in memories. You see it, you memorize it, but you don't know what it is. But as time goes, you start to compartmentalize it, and you pick up the information, and you start to reason it out, and that's where your intelligence come in. We get to a point where our information can be limited depending on where we live, how we live, who we're around, who we're not around. The people that we're around, they program us. Your parents, your mother, your father, they program you to the lifestyle that they want you to live. Sometimes they do the best they can, and sometimes, honestly, they don't. The teachers, they program you. They put information in your brain